a Wikividi Documentaries production. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy. Fernando Llorente. Fernando Javier Llorente Torres, nicknamed El Rey León, is a Spanish professional footballer who plays as a striker for English club Tottenham Hotspur and the Spain national team. Llorente started his career with Athletic Bilbao, working his way through the various youth ranks and becoming one of the most important offensive players for the club in the following decade. Since making his first team debut in 2005, he scored 29 goals in all competitions in the 2011-12 season, and was described as a Bilbao legend. He signed with Juventus in 2013, winning the Serie A twice during his two-year spell there. A Spain international since late 2008, Llorente was a member of the squads which won the 2010 World Cup and Euro 2012. Early years. Though born in Pamplona, Llorente grew up in the municipality of Rincón de Soto in La Rioja. He joined Athletic Bilbao's youth system in 1996, at the age of 11, being eligible through his Navarrese roots. Athletic Bilbao. Llorente spent several seasons in the various junior levels of the club, playing alongside Fernando Amorabatu and moving to the farm team in Tercera División in 2003. He gradually paved his way for promotion to Bilbao Athletics reserves in Segunda División B after scoring 4 goals for the Bees in the first half of the season. Llorente was awarded with a contract extension until June 2008. On the 16th of January 2005, he made his first team and La Liga debut in a 1-1 home draw against RCD Espanyol. 3 days later, in a Copa del Rey match with UD Lanzarote, he scored a hat-trick in a 6-0 victory, and would go on to feature in all but 5 of the 19 remaining league games while scoring 3 goals, and also featuring in 4 domestic cup matches and the UEFA Cup round of 32 clash against FK Austria Wien. Before 2005-06, Llorente's squad number was promoted from number 32 to 9. He scored in the opening day, a Basque derby 3-0 win over Real Sociedad, but throughout the campaign, found goals hard to come by, which could be partly attributed to a series of injuries including a knee strain, gastroenteritis and a muscle injury. He ended the season with just 4 goals, 2 in the league and as much in the cup, against CE L'Hospitalet. On the 13th of July 2006, Llorente signed a new contract until June 2011, which included a buyout clause of between €30 and €50 million. He started the season as arguably the club's 4th-choice striker, behind Aritz Aduriz, Joseba Ixperia and veteran Ismail Erzaiz. The team's poor form and lack of goals led to coach Felix Sarayagat rotating the players, allowing Llorente to force his way back into the side. He ended the campaign with only 2 goals in 23 matches, although he did score an important one in the closing minutes of a 1-1 draw at Valencia. In preparation for 2007-08, Llorente scored 6 goals in as many pre-season matches, and another against CD Numancia in the Caja Trophy. His form led to him becoming Athletic's first-choice forward, and although he started the campaign poorly, he ended it with a total of 11 league goals for a side that finished in mid-table. His tally included 4 goals in 2 games against Valencia, both impressive wins, and further strikes against FC Barcelona, Villarreal and Atletico Madrid. Prior to 2008-09, Llorente was confident of a successful season. "I know that I am capable of scoring goals and having a good year, and I want to start this term in the same form that I ended the last one in," he said. Despite the team's modest start, he netted 14 league goals, a career best, with another 4 in the cup, helping his team reach the final against Barcelona. In the 2009-10 season, Llorente again reached double figures. He led all scorers in the Europa League for a lengthy period with 8 goals, and added 14 in the league in an eventual 8th-place finish. On the 28th of August 2010, Llorente scored the first goal of the 2010-11 campaign, in a 1-0 win at Hercules SV. His form continued in the next 10 league fixtures as he found the net 7 times, eventually finishing the season with 18 goals as Athletic qualified to the Europa League. In January/February 2012, in 2 away matches separated by only 4 days, Llorente scored 5 goals, He started with a hat-trick in a 3-2 win against Rayo Vallecano, adding to an 2-1 defeat of CD Mirandes in the Spanish Cup semi-finals. In the next two matches, both at home, he netted 3 more, one against Espanyol in the league and 2 against Mirandes. Llorente scored in both legs of the 2011-12 Europa League round of 16 against Manchester United, as Athletic won both games and went through 5-3 on aggregate. In the next round he netted twice at FC Schalke 04 in a 4-2 win, helping the team eventually reach the final. His 7 goals in the tournament also made him the club's highest scorer in European competition, beating the total of 11 set by Dani in the 1980s, and being himself surpassed by Duriz in 2016. In August 2012, Llorente refused to sign a new deal with Athletic Bilbao, fueling speculation that he might be leaving. Following a 0-2 derby loss at Real Sociedad on the 29th of September, in which he was a late substitute, he got into an argument with manager Marcelo Bielsa. 2 days later he walked out of training early and was sent to practice with the youth squad and, as a result, his relationship with the club's supporters and president José Urrutia further deteriorated. On the 3rd of January 2013, Athletic confirmed that Llorente would be holding talks with Juventus FC on the 21st. The Italian sporting director, Giuseppe Marotta, revealed that he was very optimistic that the player would join on the 1st of July, with Urrutia believed to be unwilling to allow him to leave in the January transfer window. 3 days later the club formalized the signing and announced he would sign a 4-year contract on the 1st of July when his contract with Bilbao expired. Juventus also paid his agent €3.038 million. Llorente scored just 5 goals in 36 official matches in his final year with Athletic, playing mainly as a backup for Duriz. Juventus. Llorente officially became a Juventus player on the 1st of July 2013 after passing a medical at the club. He was given the number 14 shirt and netted his first goal in Serie A on the 22nd of September when he started in a 2-1 home win against Hellas Verona FC in his second and third ever appearances in the UEFA Champions League. Llorente managed to find the net on both occasions against Real Madrid for the 2013-14 group stage. On the 1st of December he scored in injury time for the only goal of the match at home against Udinese Calcio. A few weeks after speaking in an exclusive interview with La Gazzetta dello Sport about his relationship with former manager Bielsa, Llorente's first 2 goals of 2014 came on the 12th of January, scoring from a header and from close range as Juventus defeated Cagliari Calcio 4-1 away, to extend their winning league run to 11 matches. On the 7th of April, he netted both of his team's goals in a 2-0 home success over AS Livorno Calcio, confirming a top 2 finish. On the final day of the season, again against Cagliari, he contributed with 1 goal as the hosts won it 3-0 to become the team with the most points in a single Serie A campaign with 102. On the 6th of June 2015, Llorente came off the bench and played 5 minutes in the final of the Champions League, lost 1-3 to Barcelona at Berlin's Olympiastadion. Sevilla. On the 27th of August 2015, free agent Llorente signed a 3-year contract with Sevilla FC with a buyout clause of €20 million. He made his league debut 3 days later, playing the full 90 minutes in a 0-3 home defeat against Atletico Madrid. He scored his first goal for the club in a 1-2 loss to Celta de Vigo, also at the Ramon Sanchez P1 Stadium, on the 20th of September. On the 8th of November 2015, after having replaced newly signed Ciro Immobile for the final 20 minutes of the domestic league fixture against Real Madrid, Llorente headed home after only 4 minutes in an eventual 3-2 win. Exactly 1 month later, also at home, he netted the lone goal in a 1-0 victory over his former club Juventus in the final match of the Champions League group stage, to surpass Borussia Mönchengladbach and take 3rd spot that allowed for qualification for the Europa League knockout phase. They went on to win that competition, with him being an unused substitute in the final, and he came off the bench during extra time in the final of the Domestic Cup 4 days later, which was lost to Barcelona. Swansea City. On the 4th of August 2016, it was announced that Llorente had signed a 2-year deal with Swansea City. He made his Premier League debut 9 days later, playing the full 90 minutes in a 1-0 away win against Burnley. On the 26th of November 2016, Llorente scored 2 injury-time goals to help the hosts defeat Crystal Palace 5-4. He also netted twice 2 matches later, also at the Liberty Stadium, against Sunderland. He finished his first season with 15 goals, as the team avoided relegation. A fractured arm sustained while cycling during his summer holiday caused Llorente to miss the opening weeks of the 2017-18 campaign. Tottenham Hotspur. On the 31st of August 2017, Llorente joined Tottenham Hotspur on a 2-year deal for an reported fee of £12.1 million. He made his debut for the club on the 13th of September, replacing Harry Kane for the last minutes of a 3-1 home win over Borussia Dortmund for the Champions League group stage. He made his first start in the EFL Cup tie against Barnsley on the 20th of September, followed by the Champions League group stage draw at Real Madrid, which ended 1-1. Llorente scored his first goal for Spurs on the 6th of December 2017, playing the full 90 minutes in a 3-0 Champions League win over Apoel FC, as his team had already progressed to the knockout stage as group champions. He made his first league start the following the 2nd of January, netting in the 2-0 away defeat of his former club Swansea. Llorente scored a hat-trick in a 6-1 win against Rochdale for the 5th round of the FA Cup, on the 28th of February 2018. International career. Llorente represented Spain at the 2005 FIFA World Youth Championship, his 5 goals winning him the Silver Boot as the competition's second highest scorer. He was also capped at under-18 and under-19 levels. On the 14th of November 2008, senior national team manager Vicente Del Bosque called Llorente up for a friendly against Chile, where he was brought on as a substitute in the 72nd minute of the 3-0 win. He scored his first goal in a 2-0 friendly success over England on the 11th of February 2009, coming off the bench to score in the 64th minute. After netting 14 goals for Athletic in 2008-09, Del Bosque named Llorente in his 23-man squad for the 2009 FIFA Confederations Cup. He was used as a substitute against host South Africa, and scored in a 2-0 victory. Llorente was not called up once during the 2009-10 season, as Del Bosque favoured Alvaro Negredo. He would, however, be selected for the 2010 FIFA World Cup, also in South Africa, as third-choice striker, where he played in 1 match for the eventual champions. The last 30 minutes of the 1-0 round of 16 win over Portugal. On the 8th of October 2010, benefiting from an injury to Fernando Torres, Llorente started in a UEFA Euro 2012 qualifier against Lithuania, in Salamanca. With 2 headers his strongest asset, he contributed prominently in a 3-1 win. 4 days later, as a substitute, he scored the winner against Scotland in a 3-2 success at Hampden Park. He was selected for the final stages in Poland and Ukraine, being an unused squad member as Spain won another tournament. Llorente was one of 7 players cut from the final squad for the 2014 World Cup. He represented the Basque Country national team 5 times, making his debut against Cameroon in 2005, and scored 1 goal for the Euskadi in a match against Catalonia at the Camp Nou played the following year. His last appearance was in December 2007. Brought to you by Wikividi Documentaries. Would you like